Welcome to the intermediate Bakasana play class. Namaste. Depending on your level and flexibility, you might not need props. However, it will be helpful to have handy a strap and 2 blocks. We'll start seated, feet in front of us, wider than the hips, hands to the back if you'd like for seated cat-cows. However, I like to hold onto the front of my knees to continue this movement. Inhale, exhale, inhale to the front, exhale, rounding the back, continuing on your own pace for a couple more rounds. Noticing the spine stretching into both directions. Exhale, rounding the back fully. And inhale back to the center, releasing with the left hand to the back. Inhale the right arm up, hugging the left knee or hooking the elbow, creating resistance between the knee and the elbow for a twist. Turning the head to look far over the left shoulders, finding length in the spine and twist on your exhales. Releasing, right hand to the back, inhale left arm up and holding to the right knee or hooking the elbow, twisting to look far over the right shoulder. To the center, left knee comes down, hugging the right knee, circling into the foot to open the ankle, and swapping directions on the circles. Holding behind the thigh, bounce, bounce, stretch the leg to open the back of the leg. Try to keep the spine nice and straight, hugging the knee in as high as you can, flexing into the right foot. And then swapping legs, hugging the left knee, circling into the ankle, swapping directions on the circles, and bounce, bounce, stretch a couple of times, feeling the spine stretch up as you hug the knee. Then releasing, straightening the legs, we'll hold onto the right foot either with our hands or you can grab for a strap if that's more comfortable to straighten the leg and hold. Pulling the shoulders down away from the ears as you do so, and then swapping the left hand to hold onto the foot, right hand reaches to the back for a twist. You can hold the inside of the foot, but it's more correct to hold the outside of the foot as you twist. And then crossing the right foot over the left thigh, hugging the right knee or hooking the elbow to look far over the right shoulder for a twist. Releasing to swap legs, grabbing either your strap, holding onto the left foot to straighten the leg, or holding with your hands. We'll start facing forwards. And then we'll come into the twist as you swap hands. Right hand to the outside of the left foot and left hand reaching to the back, thumb facing up. Releasing the pose, releasing the strap. Roll onto your back for core exercises, placing the hands to the back, feet lifting. Inhale, exhale, right elbow to left knee. Inhale, exhale to swap. Inhale to center, exhale to swap. You're welcome to keep the feet on the floor for this exercise if it's too challenging to hover them. Use the core, pull the belly back, pull the lower back into the floor, especially on the exhales as you crunch. Then come to the center, release the head, knees to touch, interlace the fingers overhead, give yourself a stretch, separate the hands, and then separate the feet into a star position. Hovering the feet, exhale, elbows to knee crunch. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Continuing for a couple more rounds. Again, focusing on the crunch as the navel pulls back at the end of the exhale to increase the crunch. Hugging the knees, releasing, and then just circling the knees a couple of times into one direction and a couple of times into the other direction. Inhale back to the star, exhale opposite elbow to knee, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. 2 more times on each side. And then taking rest in pond pose. Rolling yourself up to sit. Bring the hands to the back, feet in front for a reverse tabletop. You can bring the hands facing forwards, sideways, or to the back. Inhale, lifting the pelvis and then bending the elbows backwards to activate the triceps and the upper arms for the arm balances that will come. And then crossing the legs to roll over, curling the toes as we circle the torso into one direction a couple of times for a washing machine cat-cow. Enjoy this fluid movement as the rest of the class is quite rigid. And then swap directions on the torso circles. Inhale as you drop the belly, exhale as you lift the belly. Then bring the hands forwards, knees behind the hips, sitting back for wisdom pose with your toes curled under. Inhale, rounding the back to the front. Exhale, arching the back to the first position, wisdom pose. Continue a couple of spinal rolls here, keeping the knees down and just feeling the rippling effect moving through the spine as you inhale, round the back, tuck the chin, exhale, lift your gaze and arch the back. And then lifting your knees for a downward facing dog. We'll walk the dog out a couple of times. And then we'll continue the ripple movements. Inhale into planche, exhale, hover the knees, push back to down dog. Continuing a couple more rounds. Again, finding and feeling the ripple moving through the spine, creating a fluid-like movement. Bringing the knees down, walking the hands out into all directions to open the wrists. You're welcome to sit back if you need less pressure on the wrists. And then placing the hands facing upwards, you can sway a little bit from side to side to open the tops of the wrists. Be careful not to put too much pressure on the hands here. I like to spread them out and make sure the energy is spreading into the fingers as well. And then placing them facing to the sides, keep swaying, and then coming back to another couple of spinal rolls, starting in downward facing dog. Bringing your knees down, shrug your shoulders up and then down the back a couple of times. Then keep them down and then walk the hands forwards and sink your chest down into puppy pose. Keeping the hips over the knees, just feel the shoulders stretch. Inhale, come back to the center and then lie on your belly. Interlace the fingers to the back. Lift the chest as you stretch your arms. And then bring the hands down to push yourself back to downward facing dog. Bring your big toes to touch. Inhale, lift the heels, hop to the top, flat back, exhale, fold. Inhale to rise, palms to touch, exhale, hands to the heart, Padangusthasana. Closing the eyes, take a moment to ground yourself. We'll do 3 Ashtanga sun salutations. Inhale to reach, exhale to fold. Inhale, halfway lift, exhale, step or jump through Chaturanga. You're going to hold Chaturanga, hovering the floor. Inhale to push up, exhale, downward facing dog. Take 3 breaths. Inhale to jump to the top, half lift, exhale, fold. Inhale to rise, palms to touch, exhale, hands to the heart, Padangusthasana. Grounding yourself in between every little flow. Inhale to reach, exhale to fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, Vinyasa flow. If you'd like to hover just above the ground at the end of your Chaturanga, inhale, up dog, exhale, down dog. Inhale to jump to the top, halfway lift, exhale, fold. Inhale to rise, exhale, Padangusthasana. Inhale to rise, exhale to fold. Inhale, halfway lift, exhale, Vinyasa flow. Meeting in down dog. Inhale to hop to the top, feet wide, sitting the hips down into Malasana. Bring the palms to touch and find length in the spine. Focus on the soles of the feet meeting the earth. Then inhale, push into your feet to rise. Bring the big toes to touch. Tadasana. We'll start with our flow now. Inhale to reach, exhale to fold. Inhale, halfway lift, exhale, Vinyasa flow. Meeting in down dog. Inhale, right leg up, knee to the right elbow. Inhale, 3-legged dog, knee to the right elbow. Inhale, exhale to the right elbow, to the right wrist. Inhale, back to the elbow, and then step the right foot in between the hands, back knee down. Inhale, reach the arms. Exhale, folding for a half Hanuman. You can bring the hands to the floor or you can use blocks. Inhale to rise, exhale to fold. Inhale to rise, exhale to fold and hold. Once again, use props if you need to. or just bring the hands to the floor, but keep the right leg straight and the spine long for this pose. Shoulder blades pulling towards one another. Inhale into Anjaneyasana, lifting the gaze, lifting the heart. Hands come to the heart. Keep that position on the upper body as you inhale to rise up to a high lunge. Shifting the weight forwards into the right leg, lifting the back leg for Virabhadrasana 3. And then either holding onto a strap or using your left hand to hold to the inside of the left foot, or hooking the index finger and middle finger over the big toe. Straighten the left leg to the front for Hasta Padangusthasana A. You can reach the right hand to the side. I didn't have space, so I had to lift it up to the sky. And then bringing the foot back through Warrior 3, you can bring the hands to the back or to the sides as well. Replace the foot, lifting onto both tippy toes, hands in front of the shoulders, and then slide your back down a wall, sitting the bum towards the heels. Holding this toe balance, hands in front, and then lifting the pelvis to prepare for Bakasana. Hands come flat, lifting up onto the tippy toes, walking the knees and placing them on the upper arms as high as you can. You can also use blocks on your feet. That might be a good entry if you're struggling to keep the pelvis high. You want to bend the arms straight to the back, chaturanga arms. And then as you lean forwards, see if you can lift maybe both feet or play with lifting one foot at a time. Engage the core, engage Mula Bandha if that's accessible to you. Keep pushing the mat away and create space between the shoulder blades. Maybe both feet hover and the toes touch. You can either step out of it or jump out, going through your Vinyasa flow. Coming back to down dog, we'll repeat this on the other side. Inhale the left leg up, exhale to the left elbow. Inhale, three-legged dog, exhale to tap the left elbow. Inhale, exhale to the elbow, to the left wrist, back to the elbow, and step the foot in between the hands. Back knee comes down. Inhale, raise the arms. Exhale, half Hanuman, flexing the left foot. Inhale, up, exhale to fold. One more, inhale to rise, and exhale to fold. Hold, hands can come to blocks or to the floor, or they can hover, pulling the shoulder blades to touch to open the chest. And then inhale, coming back to a low lunge, hands to the heart into prayer, lifting your gaze slightly, keeping the inner thighs and the core activated. Lifting up into a high lunge as you raise the back knee. And then shifting the weight into the left leg, tilting forwards for Virabhadrasana 3. You can again grab for your strap or use your right hand into the inside of the right foot, or hook the index and middle finger over the big toe, thumb pressing into the toenail to extend the right leg to the front. Heel away from you for Hasta Padangusthasana A. Then coming back to Warrior 3, hands either overhead or to the sides of the body. And replacing the back foot to the floor, lifting onto the tippy toes. Palms in front, sliding the back down a wall as the knees bend to the front, sitting the bum to the heels, holding this balance. Then place the hands down as you lift the pelvis, preparing for another Bakasana. Bending the elbows into a Chaturanga position, placing the knees as high as you can. Shifting the weight forwards, lifting one toe, maybe the other, maybe both. Engage the core, engage Mula Bandha. Either stepping back or jumping back through your Vinyasa flow, meeting in downward facing dog. Find your breath. And then taking rest in wisdom pose, knees wide, big toes to touch, sitting the bum back to the heels, resting the forehead to the floor. Inhale to rise, curl the toes, exhale back to downward facing dog. Inhale to hop to the top, flat back, exhale fold. Inhale to rise, exhale meeting in Tadasana. Big toes to touch. Take a moment to ground. Inhale to rise, up, exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, exhale, Vinyasa flow. Downward facing dog, right leg up, exhale, knee to the left elbow. Inhale, three-legged, exhale to the left elbow. Inhale, and exhale, left elbow, left wrist, left elbow, step the foot in between the hands, back knee down. Inhale, raise the arms, exhale. Inhale to a high lunge. Exhale, hands to the heart, left elbow to the right knee to twist. Parivrtta Padangusthasana. Turn your gaze to look down to the right foot as you step the left foot next to the right. Parivrtta Utthita. Inhale, lifting the right foot, keeping the left elbow glued to the right knee, replacing the right foot, and then sitting down for your toe balance, keeping the left elbow glued to the right knee. I'm turning to show you how I'm placing my hands and the right elbow into the hip. I'm placing my hands to the top of the mat, so you're welcome to shift your position so the hands are facing forwards. You're leaning forwards, you're stacking the knees as you're lifting the feet for Parivrtta Bakasana. If possible, straighten the legs if you feel like it's easy and accessible, and then step or jump back through your Vinyasa flow, meeting in downward facing dog. Repeating on the other side, inhale the left leg up to the sky, exhale knee to the right elbow, inhale straighten, exhale right elbow, inhale straighten, exhale right elbow, right wrist, right elbow, and step the foot, back knee down. Inhale, raise the arms overhead, palms to touch. Lifting up into a high lunge. Hands coming down to the heart. Right elbow to the left knee for Parivrtta Padangusthasana, twisting towards the left. Then step the back foot to meet the front, lifting the left leg, keeping the right elbow glued to the left knee. And then replacing the left foot as you sit your bum down to the heels, keeping that right elbow in place. Preparing for Parivrtta Bakasana again, I'm going to move over to the opposite side of the mat, placing the palms facing to the top of the mat. This time the left elbow comes into the left hip or into the waist. Play around with it. Remember to lift your pelvis to get height on your hips as your knees stack, lifting the feet. If it's accessible, straighten the legs. And if you'd like, step or jump back to your Vinyasa flow, meeting back in downward facing dog. And then moving forwards down onto the belly, taking rest in crocodile pose, one palm on top of the other, resting the cheek or the forehead. Breathing into the lower belly and into the middle of the back, sending the breath deep down into the lower part of the torso. Lifting your gaze, placing your hands meeting in downward facing dog for the last round. Inhale to hop to the top, flat back, exhale to fold. Inhale to rise, exhale, folding for the last round. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, Vinyasa flow. Down dog. Inhale, right leg up, exhale to the left elbow. Inhale to rise, exhale to tap. Inhale, exhale to the elbow, to the wrist, back to the elbow, and step the foot in between the hands, back knee down, arms up. Twisting here towards the right, then lifting the back knee. And then stepping the back foot to the front for Parivrtta Bakasana. Lifting the right foot. You can use the strap here, or you can use your left hand or index and middle finger over the big toe, or left hand to the outside of the right foot. Standing upright, right hand to the back. Whoops. And then extending the right foot to the front for the twist. If your knee doesn't straighten all the way, don't worry about it. Just find balance and find a straight, tall spine. That's more important than straightening the leg. Then bringing yourself back to Parivrtta Utthita, and then back to the toe balance, preparing for Parivrtta Bakasana. So coming into the arm balance, maybe straightening the legs if that's accessible, and then stepping or jumping through Vinyasa, meeting in downward facing dog. But first flowing through a couple of spinal rolls before lifting the left leg. Exhale to tap the right elbow. Inhale to lift, exhale to tap. Inhale to lift, exhale to tap the right elbow, right wrist, elbow, and step the foot in between the hands, back knee down. Inhale, bringing the hands to the heart. Right elbow to the left knee for the twist, lifting the back knee, stepping the back foot to the front, lifting the left leg this time, holding onto it with your hand or with your strap, straightening the leg and the left arm at the same time, looking towards the back if possible. Shoot, my face is sweating. Releasing the foot, keeping the right elbow glued to the left knee, and then sitting down for your toe balance, and then preparing for another last Bakasana. If you want to skip this one, you're welcome to. Otherwise, going through the arm balance, maybe straightening the legs, although I didn't have space on this side, so I just jumped through Vinyasa flow, meeting back and downward facing dog. Well done. You can come onto your knees, cross your ankles, and then I'm going to sit on a little pillow. We'll do Nadi Shodana. Come into a comfortable cross-legged position. Left hand in Gyan Mudra. Right hand into Vishnu Mudra. Middle and index finger down. Active fingers are the thumb and the ring finger. Closing the eyes and taking a couple of breaths through both nostrils. Closing the right nostril with your thumb. Deep, full, long inhale left. Closing the left nostril with your ring finger. Maximum exhale right. Inhale right. Closing right, exhale left. Inhale left. Closing left, exhale right. Inhale right. Closing right, exhale left. Continuing another 6 rounds on your own time. I will bring you out after the last round. After the last exhale through the left nostril, release the right hand to the right knee and continue normal breathing. Observing any sensations in the body. Observing the calmness and balance of the mind. And then slowly opening up the eyes, coming off of your seat, grabbing either a bolster or 2 blocks, placing them in such a way that you can lie on your back, propping up your upper back and your head. You're welcome to have the head hang down, maybe touching the floor. I like to prop up my head. You can bring the hands to the sides, palms facing up, and separate the feet. You can straighten the legs, mat distance apart. Allow the feet to flop to the sides. And bring your awareness to your breath. Notice that the pranayama has calmed down your breath. And just allow the stillness to linger in this space that has opened up within. This is a space where many insights might arise to the surface. So allow yourself to tune into the body's signals. Slowly moving the toes and the fingers, hug the knees to sit up. Take a moment in an upright position. And then remove any props to prepare for Savasana. I'm actually going to use the blanket under my knees for Savasana. Hugging the knees in, bringing the nose up to the knees, separating the shoulder blades, and then straightening the legs over the bolster or blanket, palms to the sides, facing up. Taking an inhale, exhale, and allow the whole body and mind to come to rest. Gently wiggle the toes and the fingers. Maybe move the head from side to side. Hugging the knees into the chest. Rolling to the right. And then slowly in your own time coming up to sit. Sitting upright for a moment. Closing the eyes, just taking in the practice. Feeling gratitude for this practice. Gratitude for the progress you've made on the inside. And then bringing the hands to the heart, opening the eyes, bowing our heads to close in gratitude. Namaste.